Get ready for the show, it's about to begin. Pro fan talk when we dive right in. Sports talk, hot takes, ain't nothing we lack. We the real fans, nothing holding us back. Mic check, 1, 2, y'all know the drill. We bringing the energy, we keep it real. Touchdowns on liquid air, on the slam dunks on the court. Every sport, every game, we holding down the fort. We breaking down the plays, dissecting the stats. Pro fan talk, we keeping it fat. Debating with passion, no filter, no doubt. We the voice of the fans, we scream and we shout.
And we are here. What's going on, folks? Happy Thursday to you. Welcome to the Pro Fan Talk. We getting it done. We getting it in. We getting it right. It's Thursday, a couple days before the divisional game here in South Jersey, right across the street from Philadelphia, where my Philadelphia Eagles are getting ready to battle the LA Rams. They come into town. I don't know if they're ready for this cold weather we about to get because it's snowing right now, but we'll see. But just want to say what's up. I think I need a little bit more light over here. There we go. So what's up, Jay Capone? You first out the limo, bro. Appreciate you. Yeah, man, we getting it going, man. It's I don't know what's going on in Philadelphia, but the people that know, what's up, K Chanel? The people that know. We know what time it is. We know what Philadelphia has to do. We didn't heard enough talk about Jalen Hurts and what they think he should do better and this, that, and the other. We all understand that. But here's what it comes down to when you're talking about playoff football. That game was over when the clock hit 0. So whatever happened last week don't matter anymore. Every game, you wipe all the pieces off the board and you start brand new. Brand new. Remember, you got 4 one-game seasons. That's what you got. And you got to go 1-0 4 times. That's how you got to look at it. You can't look at it like we got to win 3 in a row or we got to go 4-0 you can't look at it like that. When you're playing football, a good coach worth his salt, he will tell everybody, don't worry about what's coming. Don't worry about the past. You got to worry about this play right here. When I used to coach my kids, shout out to the GT Stallion, South New Jersey. When I used to coach my kids, I used to tell them, I need you to win this play. Not next quarter, not the third quarter, not the fourth quarter, not overtime. I just need you to worry about this play. If you can win on this play, beat your man on this play, then when the next play comes, you just rinse and repeat. And at the end of the day, I can ask you, did you get the best of your man? Or did he get the best of you? That's what it comes down to. I agree. I wish Jalen Hurts would have thrown for more yards. But after I watched the tape, it's a nuanced conversation. And it's not like Jalen sucks and he can't throw the ball and he can't read defenses and all the other kind of nonsense that people say that clearly don't study the game, let alone all the idiots on the TV shows that just get stats shuffled in front of their face and they just roll with that, trying to get the clickbait and all of this kind of stuff. Jalen Hurts been winning the same way all year. Yes, we want him to throw for 300-something yards every game, but guess what? How many of those quarterbacks that throw for 300-something yards, that are 6'4", that are drop-pack quarterbacks, how many of those quarterbacks are watching the game this weekend? How many of them? Just watching the game. It don't matter. You do what you do to get you there. You don't worry about all of the nonsense. My homie, y'all know I'm a Cincinnati kid, born and raised. Joey Burrow, number 1 in the league passing, 4,900, almost cracked 5,000 yards, 4,918 yards, 43 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. His rating this year was 108. His completion percentage was 70.6. Joey Burrow was lighting it up, and he is at home watching the games. Baker Mayfield at home watching the game, 4,500 yards. Geno Smith, 4,300 yards at home. Sam Darnold at home. Aaron Rodgers at home. Justin Herbert at home. Brock Purdy, Kyler Murray, Bo Nix at home. Who else we got? Caleb Williams, Kirk Cousins, Jordan Love, all at home. And all of those were quarterbacks ranked above Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is middle of the pack. He ranked 20th. But he does it his way. He does it his way. So, oh, Ken, you're killing me, man. Come on, Ken. You a Rams fan, or you just pulling for the Rams because we kicked the Pack's butt? I ain't mad at you though. I ain't mad at you. I would feel some kind of way too. So I can't get mad at you, man. You know, your team is at home watching the game too. So it's all good. So what's up, KGK? But go back to Jalen's Super Bowl run last time. How many touchdowns did he have against Atlanta, Minnesota? Then look how he scored. Absolutely. Absolutely. You got to look in the playoffs. You got to look you take every game as a season. The regular season is over. The regular season is over. How many people picked the Chargers to beat the Texans? How many people made that pick? Why? Because Justin Herbert only threw 3 picks the entire year, and he threw 4 in the playoff game. Every game is its own season. You can't worry about what you did during the season. The only thing you do is worry about you doing that game. The only thing the Eagles got to do is worry about what we're going to do on Sunday. You can't look ahead and you can't look back. I need Jalen Hurts to run for about 60 yards and throw for about 2.25 or 2.5. Give me between 225 and 250. Maybe AJ breaks one or Devontae breaks one and takes that up to 260, close to 300. In my opinion, the long ball is overrated. You ain't got to throw shots down the field. We got the receivers. You get AJ Brown on the cross, he going to break a tackle. AJ Brown is always open. He the king of yak yards. He's known to break a tackle on that quick slant. Keep feeding them the ball. Run it till they stop it. Devontae Smith coming around, coming on that cross. We haven't seen the mesh concept in a couple weeks. I don't know if anybody's noticed that. We haven't ran that mesh concept in a couple weeks. And that's where we can usually get Dallas Goedert or Devontae Smith going across the middle. And guess what? If they try to load the box to stop Saquon, the middle is going to be wide open, but we got to do play action. We got to run play action. Because we're going to be looking at Kellen Moore like, yo, you got to do better than that with this game plan, man. We got to get Saquon outside, off tackle and outside, not all the time. Yes, we can still run through the middle, but we ain't got to run up the middle every damn time. Soften that defense up. Get back to the mesh concepts. Why can't we run a screen that's not a bubble screen to the outside with our wide receivers blocking? How come we can't do that? Everybody else in the league can do that. Ain't this supposed to be a copycat league? Everybody else in the NFL doing that but us. Everybody else pitching their running backs to the outside but us. Come on, son. That's obvious answers. You run that shit till they stop. Yes, eventually, Saquon is going to pop one. But why not help him out? Why not help him out? We ought to RPO the Rams to death. Jared Verse is going to be coming across that line of scrimmage. He's going to over pursue. I'm calling it right now. Jalen Hurts is going to step inside and rush for about 60 to 70 yards against LA because those edges, Jared Verse is going to be trying to make something happen. He's going against the best of the best. So he's going to be trying to put a little bit extra because on one side he got Lane Johnson and on the other he got Jordan Mailata. So I'm predicting, I'm calling it right now, even before I talk to Tone on Sunday or Saturday, rather. I'm calling it now. Jared Verse is going to over pursue. And if you notice, most of the sacks that Jalen Hurts takes are because he's not throwing the ball. If he doesn't like what he sees, he pulls the ball down. Maybe he has an exit strategy. Maybe he isn't. In my opinion, the reason why he's taking so many sacks is because he's not running so much. This is very similar, and I've said this before. This is very similar to when Donovan McNabb came to camp. I believe it was his third year, and you could tell he was visibly bulked up, and he said that he needed to be a pocket passer, and everybody thought he was crazy because, like, hey man, you better use your God-given gifts, and he still did that, but he became arguably the best quarterback the Eagles ever had, and I played with Randall, and I'm saying that. So there's some merit to that. So there's some truth into that you can stay in the pocket. But I think Jalen Hurts is staying in the pocket to his detriment. If you don't see what you need to see, you need to have your exit strategy and go. I'll take your 6 or 7 yards right up the middle, slide, and then we at 2nd and 3 or 2nd and 4. We can live with that. Run Saquon on 2nd down, not on 3rd down. I know you're trying to fool everybody when you're in an obvious pass situation and you want to hand it off to a draw. That's not going to happen often. I'd rather hand it off to him on 2nd down, let him get his 5 or 6 yards, and now you're looking at 3rd and short. And then again, you ain't got to take the deep shot. You ain't got to throw the moon ball. Once again, A.J. Brown on the slant. Ain't nobody been able to stop it yet. Keep it simple. It's not complicated. Do the things that they can't stop and keep doing it. Run it till they stop it. Run it till they stop it. I'm old school. I was the man when I was in college. Everybody knew I was getting the ball, and they couldn't stop me. They couldn't. 6.7 yards for average as a career in 1AA. They knew I was getting the ball, and they couldn't stop me. Saquon Barkley is miles better than I was. They know he getting the ball, and they can't stop him. All they got to do is diversify his runs a little bit, stop running so much up the damn middle, and get him outside and make those jokers chase. Because I watch film. Now I'd be surprised if the Rams try to play that single high spy. They play single high, and then they bring the safety up as another linebacker. But he'll bail out. So the trick is going to be trying to figure out what they're playing. But you can usually figure that out depending on how the cornerbacks play. If the cornerbacks play 3 yards off the receivers, it's one thing. If they back up about 5 yards, then they probably in zone, or they're going to probably back up to a 2-deep shell or something like that. So it depends on how they do. All I know is if they're going to try to play that single high safety, A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith they eat their ass up. So, and here's the other thing. I'm hearing the conversation. Now, again, this is national media. This is not Philly media. This is national media because they don't look at the macro. They look at the stats that they shoved in front of their face. And the one thing that I kept hearing today was how much better the LA Rams defense has gotten since we played them. When Saquon went for 225 or whatever it was. And they keep saying that the Rams are a much better team since the last time we played them. And I agree. However, so are we. It ain't like The Eagles just been standing still. It ain't like we haven't gotten better. We haven't gotten healed up. It ain't like we don't have the best offensive line in football. I guarantee you this. You ain't gonna run through our offensive line like you did damn Minnesota. I think this game is gonna come down to, and this is where we have the advantage because it's gonna be cold, because the weather forecast is predicting snow. This is a game where Jalen Hurts is gonna be the difference maker running the ball. Matthew Stafford can't run. And it's gonna be cold, so he got to he got to stay in the pocket and take it. Now, don't get it twisted. Matthew Stafford can put dimes on you. He can throw the ball through a bottle cap. So it is going to be supremely important for our secondary, Slay, CJ, Coop, Quinion. It's going to be supremely important for y'all to be on top of y'all game. I have no doubt that we will, but I'm not saying, I'm just saying. Because that joker can thread a needle, and he can put the ball where it needs to be. I got confidence that we got to handle our business against Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp been banged up lately. So we'll see what's going to happen with that. We see what's going to happen with that. So let me run through this chat a little bit. I'm late going at this. King James, Rams. What else? There's a phantom that throws balls to our receivers. Facts. Facts. Brandon, another Rams. A lot of Rams fans in today. Brandon, I disagree, bro. I think here are the rules for Jalen Hurts. 25 or less pass attempts. We get the most out of Jalen Hurts throwing the ball. 25 or less. Unless, like, AJ and Devontae just go off. But anytime we throw the ball over 30-something times a game, sometimes we get ourselves in trouble. We get away from what we're trying to do. Let's take a look. Let's see. Packers. 34 attempts. 278. He had a good game that game. That was the first game of the year, right? That was a long ass time ago, right? 34 attempts, 278. The Falcons, we should have won that game. 30 attempts, 183. The Saints, we threw the ball 38 times, 311 yards. I believe that's the only game he went over 3. So 38 times, 29 for 38, 311 yards. Again, the Buccaneers, we got blasted that game. AJ was out. I think Devontae was out. We had a lot of injuries that game, but still, we threw the ball 30 times and only had 158 yards. Probably should have ran the ball a little bit more. Now you look at, we play the Browns, 25 times, 264. 2 touchdowns, no pick. Now that's the other thing. No touchdowns, 1 pick. 1 touchdown, 1 pick. 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. But I believe, if I remember correctly, in the Green Bay game, wasn't that the one where Devontae ran the bad route on the goal line, and we got picked off in the red zone? So the Bengals, 20 carries or 20 attempts, 236, 1 touchdown. The Jags, 24 attempts, 230, 2 touchdowns, no picks. The Cowboys, 20 attempts, 202, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. 28 attempts with the Commanders, 221, no touchdowns, no picks. We win that game. 22 times against the Rams, 179. That's the game that Saquon went off. So we ain't had to throw a lot. But 22 times, 179, 1 touchdown, no pick. The Ravens, that was the battle. Again, running the ball, 19 passes, 118, 1 touchdown, no pick. The Panthers, 2 touchdowns, no pick, 21 attempts, 108 yards. That was the famous, we got to work on passing quote from AJ. And like it or not, AJ was right. He was right. We had to get better in our passing game. And then what do we do? The next game against the Steelers, 25 for 32, above 32, 290, 2 touchdowns, no picks. So Commander, he gets hurt. And then now we in the postseason. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 out of 17 games, we had over 30 attempts. So that's where our bread is buttered right there. Keep Jalen under 25 and let Saquon and Jalen run the ball. Pat says, I would like to see more mesh, more running back angle routes, and more underneath routes. Absolutely. Absolutely. I want to see in the passing game, I want to see short to mid. We're going to get long shots every now and then, or if somebody just breaks open. But I want to see short to mid shots. That's going to be our bread and butter, man. Devontae can outrun you. AJ can just break the tackles. And let's not forget Dallas Goedert. He's back into the flow. He's doing Dallas Goedert things, stiff arming, getting the angry run, scepter. He's getting it done. So again, we back to that three-headed monster: X receiver, wide receiver, tight end receiver, quarterback, running back. We got a 5-headed monster, and we got to use all 5 heads. We can't be holding back this time. Can't do that. Can't do that. As D says, Rams ain't doing Nathan. Let's go Birds. Yo, Don, I remember that because I had like a visceral reaction because I was like, why would you not want to run the ball? Everybody can't do that. But credit to Donovan McNabb, he saw what he was supposed to see. He saw what he was supposed to see. And he stood in the pocket. And we still got plenty of highlights where he running around, making people miss. That one crazy pass where he scrambled all around the field, and I think he hit Freddie Mitchell. He got plenty of stuff like that in his career. But he became a pocket passer and a damn good one. And that's where Jalen Hurts has got to get to. And the one thing, and it looks like we might be facing this situation again this year because it looks like there's a good probability that Kellen Moore is going to be out. So once again, Jalen Hurts has to get a new offensive coordinator. Now, this is where I want to see, and we said it, Nick Sirianni has said it a couple of times, where this is our offense. This is the Eagles' offense. And so we changing coaches, but we not changing the offense. I don't know if I necessarily believe it. But after that last game and some of them damn ball screens we kept running, I saw some comments like, yo, this looked like Nick's offense. And that's frustrating. So we must be somewhere in the middle. But we in the playoffs now. So now I need Kellen Moore to open up that playbook and show us why everybody thinks you this good potential head coach. You got to show us why. I used to live in Missouri. You got to show me. So we got to figure that out. But we got another opportunity. Wipe the slate clean. Everybody's starting in the same spot. And when I put the Rams and the Eagles face to face, in my opinion, we got more playmakers than they do. Our defense is better than their defense. We gonna get it done. So I saw one thing that was saying, let me find this. I might be able to bring it up on the Twitter. I saved it. It was talking about the Rams stats the last like 4 games in the regular season. I'm gonna put that up. Hold on. Here we go. There we go. I'm gonna bring that up on screen in a second. All right, check this out. So there's Big Don. All right, yeah, check this out. Right. So you got. I won't let you do that. First 13 games, 25.5 points allowed. Last 5 games, 12.6. Now hold on before I go any further. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's go up. Let's go to Rams. And let's look at team defense. All right, let's look at the team defense. Okay, okay. Last 5 games, 12.6 points a game. Yards allowed, 302 total yards per game. It drops from 366 to 302. And they had some injuries. That's a fair assessment. Yards per play, 5.8 to 4.8. Tops 8 in the NFL. Yep. My boy Tone wanna jump on real quick. I'm gonna bring you on in a sec, Tone. Um, so yeah, so top 8 in the NFL. Rush yards allowed, 96.6. QBR drops to 40. So they got some good stats. But it ain't like we was just standing still. You know what I'm saying? It's not like we were, not getting better either. And that's the thing. So, all right, let me get my boy Tone on here. Tone, I'm on if you listen, I'm gonna drop it in the chat. I'm gonna drop the link in the chat. And let me put my headphones on because I know we about to get it on and popping. But yeah, man, people talk like they the only ones that got better. Like we the only ones that got better. So um so we'll see. We'll see. All right, hold on for a second. I gotta make sure these headphones is on right. Turn this on. Let's see something real quick. Yeah, this is the playoffs, Rod. There we go. We good to go. Is Nick Sirianni out with a Philly loss? We can talk about that a little bit later. But hold on for a sec. So we got everybody, like Kay Adams said, everybody hating on Philly, and everybody loves to hate on Philly. That has not changed. That has not changed. Everybody loves to hate. So, do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Um, y'all got to step up to the plate, and then you got to. We gonna get on the field, and we gonna figure out what's what. That's how it's gonna go. So regardless of what you think, um, about the Eagles, about the defense, about Jalen Hurts, regardless of what you think about all of that. At 3 o'clock on Sunday afternoon in the snow, the LA Rams are going to get on the field and we're going to see what's what. Period. That's the way it goes. Every game is a new game and it works better like that. Yeah, Kate, they try to fire Nick every damn week. Every week. So it is what it is. Hey, Pat, I know the Rams are not slouches. I know they're not slouches. But again, the narrative is like we just been standing still. I used this reference before, man. It's like I've been up here, um, I've been up here in this area, the Philadelphia area, since 1993. When I came out of college, Eastern Kentucky, I signed with the Eagles, played with the Eagles, met my wife up here, stayed in the area, right? So, but anybody that if this is not where you from, if you're not living where you grew up, you understand what you're gonna understand this story. When you go home, every time I get a chance to go home to Cincinnati, see school friends, my boys, all of that type of stuff, you always come across somebody that they kind of in the same place doing the same thing that they was doing when you left like 20, 30 years ago. So you get everybody in a snapshot. And the picture in your mind is what they were doing the last time you saw them, however long that was. And you don't take into consideration the growth and the advancement somebody has or a team has. And I think a lot of people get Philly fatigue because everybody wanted to talk about Nick Sirianni every damn week. And you just kind of forget that. And it's like they just think we out here standing on 95, not doing nothing. We getting better too. We got healthy too. With the exception of N'Kobe Dean, shout out to my man N'Kobe. Um, the Eagles are the healthiest they have been all season, all year. This is the healthiest the Philadelphia Eagles have been, without a doubt. So it's crazy what people, you know, what they want to throw out there, and let them throw it out. Let them throw it out there because you never know what's going to happen. But all I know is you wipe all of that stuff off the table and you start again. 4 one-game seasons. We've already gone 1-0 once. Wipe that off the table and you start again and we do it again. But let me bring my main guy Tone on.
My guy, how you feeling?
I'm good, man. Trying to get these people to understand, man. Like, don't stop counting us out like we just been standing still and ain't been handling our business, man. I don't understand it.
You see what happened? You see when how do you say you see what, I don't want to say calm, but you see what a quiet playoff win does?
Yeah.
You see what a quiet game does to the people. I mean, you got people out here who are literally losing their minds and acting like all of a sudden the Eagles have just fallen off, or as if we aren't who we think we are and we aren't who we've shown ourselves to be. It's such a funny situation that we're in because, yes, the Rams have gotten better, right? I'm looking at your, the stats you put up, right, in terms of who the Rams have been the last 4 games, right? They've been better on defense, all the way around the board, right? I don't want to take that away from them. They've increased their efforts as a team, right? And one can argue that they've gotten a bit healthier at this point in the season. But here's my thing about that 4-game stretch that a lot of people are trying to give them credit for, right? Let's think about who they played. And let's also think about what the score was when they played them. So, yeah, they've held these teams to, what is it, less than 10 points that that they're saying they've held teams less than 10 points on average, right? What is it, 8 points they're talking about? The strange number. So let's just think about those final 4 games of the season, for one. Because I'm not even going to talk about us yet. That's the easy part. Let's talk about who they've been. You played San Francisco in week 15. You beat them 12-6. You played the New York Jets. You beat them 19-9. You played the Arizona Cardinals. You beat them 13-9.
Yeah.
And then you lost to the Seattle Seahawks 30-25. And then you managed to take advantage of a fraudulent Vikings team that we all knew was fool's gold. At least I did. I knew Minnesota was fool's gold from the rip. As a matter of fact, you want to know what I saw when I looked at Minnesota all year long? Do you want to know what I saw, Marcus? I saw the 2017-2018 Case Keenum Vikings. That's what I saw.
Rinse and repeat.
I saw a team that thought they were coming in with a bridge quarterback or had no real intentions of, really being contenders. They were slated to win 6-7 games, right? And Case Keenum overperformed, right? I think who they had? They had Adam Thielen and Stephon Diggs at the time, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He had these two wide receivers who were in their primes, right? A young Stephon Diggs who was just starting to, get to that mountaintop. Yeah. And Adam Thielen, who was at his healthiest, at his prime. I mean, that's what Adam Thielen was, the great white hope. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you come around this go around, you intended to come into the season with JJ McCarthy. He gets hurt. Sam Darnold steps up, and you guys play above board, right? Guys play above their billing. You obviously have Justin Jefferson, you have TJ Hawkinson, you have Jordan Addison, you had Aaron Jones at running back. You were able to insulate him with some talented guys. And on top of that, you got to give credit to Josh McCown, the quarterback coach, for convincing us for 18 weeks or for convincing us for 17 weeks that he was able to turn a pig into a prom queen. And to be honest, we believed it. A lot of people, at least, I didn't, but I saw it was a pig. Other people saw a prom queen. But at some point in the night, right, after all the lights turn on, and then you gotta drive back home, and you got her in the car, and things is looking cool, right? And then week 18 comes, the playoff game comes, and you wake up and you realize, oh shoot, I done. Who the hell are you? What you mean we met? What do you mean we met last night? What do you mean we met last night? What do you mean we met last night? What do you mean? What happened? What was going on with this? You tried to convince us that a pig was a prom queen, and we knew this. So we're giving the Los Angeles Rams a ton of credit for just doing homework.
Yeah.
They have a test this Sunday. This isn't
like
just
giving
homework.
Somebody credit for tying their shoes.
That's what I'm saying. So, and then on top of that, they barely beat the teams that they had to play. All those teams that I'm talking about that they beat during
that lost to the Cardinals
didn't make the playoffs. Didn't make the playoffs. And you want me to give them credit for dominating a fraudulent Vikings team when Sam Darnold was afraid to let the ball go? Sam Darnold was a deer in headlights. We saw in week 18. I said it's only a matter of time, and it happened. And I said, watch they lose. And so, and lo and behold, it happened. So again, I know I'm rambling a little bit, but the point I'm trying to get across to people is, listen, the Rams, they have turned the corner. They're a young, rising team, right? Especially that defense. I love what they're building on the defensive side, especially knowing that they just got their first round picks back, like last year or something like that?
Yeah.
So I like where they're going. But the reality is, it's going to be a nightmare in Philly. It's going to be a nightmare.
They got something to prove. We don't. We
exactly.
We going where we're supposed to be. They're the ones that are trying to upset us. They're the ones that got to come in the cold across the country on a short week and upset us in Philly. Because we are still, again, everybody don't want to like us, but we are still the offensive and defensive best teams, the most balanced team in the NFL right now.
Right.
But everybody wants to lead with the narrative of, can Jalen get it done? And Jalen just doing what he's been doing. He's been had games where he hasn't thrown the ball well. Or if it's one or the other. Before you got on, I was going through all of the games where he threw for less than 30 attempts. Because I'm like, if it's 25 or less, we usually win those games. So we're doing what we've been doing. And our expectations are as follows. We've made the playoffs. This is what, the fourth year in a row?
Correct.
For all of the Sirianni haters, how many other coaches have gone to the playoffs 4 straight years? That's not named Andy Reid.
Not many.
That's the key right there.
Not many.
So, we're doing what we were supposed to do. LA is trying to beat us. We know what happened the last time we played them. Saquon went for about 250.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I do agree. That is not the same team that we played way back in, was that week 12 or whatever it was?
They look the same to me. Listen, they can scheme up.
Either.
Exactly. And Marcus, look, they can scheme up whatever they want to scheme up, right? You want to know something that was so unique about that Vikings game? the Rams defensive game plan. That game plan was so catered to the Vikings.
Yeah.
And their approach in that game is not going to work against the Philadelphia Eagles. And look, I know a lot of people want to overcomplicate this matchup. It's really not complicated. You know, you played this game, and historically, big guys beat up on little guys. It's not overcomplicated, right? I understand Jared Verse is rising, talented. I understand that Braden Fisk is rising, talented. I understand that Byron Young and Kobe Turner. I understand you got these guys on the line who are rising. They're talented, right? You know, you have one of the most explosive young defensive lines, definitely the cheapest defense in football, right?
Yeah.
But the reality is, all those guys that you're banking on, all those young guys, they have to go up against the offensive line with the various combination of first, second team, all pros, and Pro Bowlers. Guys that
It ain't Minnesota's offensive line.
Guys that dwarf them. The Minnesota line doesn't even compare. Doesn't even compare to what Jordan Mailata can bring to the table. Doesn't even compare to what Lane Johnson brings to the table. Doesn't compare to what Cam Jurgens, a first-team Pro Bowler as a first-year starter at center. I mean, doesn't compare to what Landon Dickerson does. Doesn't compare to what Mekhi Becton brings at right guard. He's such a unique character at right guard because of his size.
And you already know what was the video clip they kept showing all day? They keep showing that play where Jared Verse ran over Jordan Mailata. And I'm like,
I'm glad you brought that up.
That was offsides because Dallas Goedert went towards the line of scrimmage too soon.
Mm-hmm.
So it was offsides on the offense, and Jared Verse jumped offsides too. And what he literally did, because I went back and watched this a couple times and slowed it down. What he did was Jordan Mailata reacted to him. So Jared Verse literally caught him with his feet in the air. But if Dallas Goedert had not jumped offsides, that'd have been offsides on Jared Verse. But they want to show the big hit like he just ran Mailata over. No, the hell he didn't.
That's okay.
And I guarantee you, Mailata's going to remember that. So I'm looking for Mailata to have a hell of a game this weekend.
Absolutely.
So he's going to get it done. Carlos Rosado with the $5 super chat. I appreciate you. Rams took the same defensive game plan that Detroit had. And I said this when we spoke. When the lights are bright, he becomes a backup again.
Absolutely. It's something else I want to bring up to you as well, because, you know, to your point about that matchup and what Jared Verse was able to catch Jordan Mailata in. Here's what's really, really funny about that matchup, right? Did you know in that game, in that matchup, Jared Verse only generated, I want to say, one pressure in that game? Yeah. Did you know he only generated one pressure in that game? Just one. And that was the play against Mailata. Other than that, he was non-factor. He was quite literally, they were all non-factors. Like, I mean, listen, you're going to get a sack or two. It's football, right? You're going to get a sack or two. That happens. It might be a covered sack. It may be Jalen Hurts holding on the ball too long, whatever it may be. You're going to get a sack or two. It's just the nature of the game. Jalen's good for a sack or two in the game. He's good for that.
Thanks.
But the reality is, Jordan Mailata and Lane Johnson are not what they have in Minnesota. Nah. It's like, notice how I'm not even talking about AJ Brown yet. I didn't even mention Saquon yet. I didn't mention nothing else yet. I'm just talking about the battle in the trenches. Did they forget that we sacked Matthew Stafford 5 times in that game?
Yeah, they forgot.
They couldn't do nothing with Milton. They couldn't do anything with Milton Williams. They couldn't do anything with Jalen Carter. Like this game.
We don't talk about Milton Williams enough.
We don't, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I want them to be casually surprised, Marcus.
Right.
I want it. I agree. Because the way the Eagles have been discussed throughout the course of this playoffs, it's cute. It's cute. So I'm okay people doubting us. I'm okay having us at the bottom of their the bottom of their power rankings in terms of the remaining teams. I'm totally okay with this. But I don't care how much Shula Jr. schemes up in the dark, in the recesses of his mind. I don't care how much pen and paper he wastes. You can't scheme your way out of this ass whooping that's coming to Jared Verse and to Byron Young and all those boys. You can't scheme your way out of that.
Nah.
You can't. Because you got like you said, oh yeah, I'm sure they improved, right? What do you think we did? What do you think we did? Those
Like,
defensive numbers speak more. It's fool's gold. It's fool's gold to me.
That's what I'm saying, man. Everybody acts like Philadelphia just been standing around twiddling their thumbs for 6 weeks. And it's like, you didn't see all of our, with the exception of Nakobe, everybody's back healthy again. Does that matter? So they're quick to say all of the players that they didn't have when we played them. And that's fair.
We didn't have Devontae.
Correct. But at the end of the day, I'm still going to take my starters against your starters, and I still think my team is better. And
on top of that, Marcus, they're so reliant on that front four. If that front four can't get home, oh man, those linebackers and DBs going to be exposed. It's not even a question. Whereas though our defense, right, we're not as predicated on our front four as we used to be. Remember in 2022, did you know we compared to this season, to the 2022 season, we have 30 less sacks?
Yeah.
And the defense is better.
Same thing happened last year. Oh, no. What am I thinking of? Was it last year or the year we went to the Super Bowl?
2022.
Yeah. We were supposed to have, I think I got it backwards.
We had 70 plus sacks. This year we got like 30 less than that.
Yeah.
And we're a better defense, right?
Minus Fletch and BG.
Minus Fletch, minus BG, minus Hassan, right? You see, this defense is more sound now. The communication is better. They're more athletic. I'm willing to argue this defense is smarter. I'm willing to argue that this defense has a better handle on their role and on this scheme because they're getting it from the source now. They're getting, they're not just getting the water from the supermarket in the case. They going to the spring. You feel what I'm saying? They getting it fresh off the glacier, Marcus. Fresh off the glacier. So all I'm trying to say is, like, what's going on with this defense right now can't be stopped. Did you know I was doing the math on this? I was doing the math, and I wanted to make sure I wasn't tripping. But here's the reality of this, Marcus. This defense, although they've been playing great since the bye week, I want to put something in perspective, right? Our last, let's just say from week 15 on, since we want to count the last 4 games of the season for them, defensively, let's think about what our defense has done, the final 15, the final 4 weeks of the season, including our playoff game, right? So in Pittsburgh, against Pittsburgh, we forced 1 turnover. We forced Najee Harris to fumble, so that's 1 turnover.
Right.
Against Washington, we forced 5, so that's 6 turnovers. Dallas, we forced 4, so that's 10 turnovers. Against New York, we forced 1, that's 11 turnovers. And against Green Bay, we forced 4. That's 15 forced turnovers over the past 5 weeks. That's an average of 3 turnovers forced per game. What are we talking about here? Y'all better not slip.
Don't forget, the last time we played the Rams, we forced 2. We got 1. We just didn't get the second one.
Yes, you're absolutely right. You're right. We forced 2 fumbles and we recovered 1 of them, right?
2 fumbles, yep.
Right. And Kyron Williams is the one that fumbled. He's the one that got. He's the one that's supposed to be this guy that's top 5 in the league getting broken tackles, right, or missed tackles. But he can't hold on to the ball. He fumbled last week against the Vikings. They just happened to recover. They just happened to recover it.
Yep. They got the bounce.
Right. They got the bounce. So when you put things in perspective, when it comes to this Eagles team, I don't think I really think the Rams are. I think people are overvaluing the Rams. I think they look at Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua and it stops there with them, right? They look at Sean McVay and they just say, hey, he's the brain trust. But Sean McVay has yet to beat Vic Fangio. He's yet to beat Nick Sirianni. I'm trying to understand. Listen, football is all about trends, right? Football's all about trends. You played this game. Trends are important. Mm-hmm. Matthew Stafford is 1-8 in rain or snow games.
Yeah. Dude, that's one of my topics is playing in the cold weather. I mean, we can stay there, right? Since we own it, man. But let me address your point real quick. The reason
Yeah.
why it's like that is they don't like Philly. Can you imagine what the conversation would be if the Rams had our record? If the Rams had our defense and our offensive line, it would be this would be they would probably be talking like your boy Rex Ryan said about the Chargers, talking about them getting a bye week, and then they got their ass busted by the Texans.
Mhm.
That's what they would be saying about this game if the Rams had our record. How come they ain't showing us that love? It's just that hate for Philly, man. It's that. But I tell you what,
the hate for Jalen Hurts.
yes,
You know,
yes,
when you look at this team from top to bottom, there's no reason they should be talked about the way they are.
correct.
There's no reason. A
Correct.
team that's 15-3 over the course of the season and postseason. A team that's been with the number one defense, with the number one offensive line, a 2,000-yard rusher in Saquon Barkley, the weapons they have, a quarterback that's won significantly more than he's lost.
Yeah, people
There's
forget
no
that.
reason the Eagles should be discussed the way they're discussed in comparison to the Rams. I don't care who is quarterback. I don't care who their coach is.
But they like to do it because they don't like us. And I'm trying to look up. Let me look up these stats real quick.
And the ratings, by the way, they need us for ratings. I talk about this all the time. That they understand. They figured out a formula. You know, let's continue to bury Philly. We know their fans are going to react on social media. And it's going to fuel engagement. And it's going to be a pipeline for people to come to our YouTube channels because these networks now, they're not like, yes, they're on television, but they're starting to pour more into their digital footprint, and they understand the concept of engagement and bad publicity works better than good publicity, right? And it's especially when it comes to the Eagles fan base, they know we ride for our organization and our team. They know that we're arguably it's not even a question. The Eagles are the most polarizing organization, the most polarizing fan base in the NFL outside of the Cowboys. The most polarizing. We're arguably like there hasn't been outside of the Cowboys, there hasn't been a team more polarizing than the Patriots at their peak. The Philadelphia Eagles are the most polarizing team in football. I'm willing to stand on that.
Yeah, and it's opposite because when the Patriots were at their peak, people didn't like them because they got sick of them winning. That's what it is. The Chiefs are like that now. Nobody wants to see the Chiefs three-peat. Only the people that follow the Chiefs or the people that like Andy Reid.
I'm about to say, I feel like all I hear is good things about them.
Well, my point is that they are in that territory now that people are like anybody but the Chiefs. I'm sick of seeing Tay. I'm sick of seeing, Kelsey. So there's always a reason. There's still a big contingency of fans that like them, but I'm just making the comparison. Like people don't remember how bad the Patriots used to be. Like god awful bad. So for them to finally get their player, to finally get a 6th round pick that they wasn't even drafted. They didn't even think he was going to make the team as a backup. And Drew Bledsoe was balling.
And they paid him too.
They paid him well. And then it happened. And then Tom Brady just happened to be that dude. So they got lucky, but when they started winning, it got to the point where people was just sick of them winning. So people started to hate on the Patriots. And then, of course, all of the cheating stuff. But for the most part, the Patriots were god-awful. Kansas City, I remember liking Kansas City back in the day because of Marcus Allen. But Kansas City wasn't winning. Joe Montana took them as far as they could possibly go. And they still couldn't get it done with Joe. And then here come Patrick Mahomes. And I've always had respect for Patrick Mahomes because when Andy Reid drafted him, he caught a lot of flack for that because didn't nobody want him.
He was raw. He was a raw player. And I was talking about this. I was saying that, and this is a little bit of an aside, but where you're drafted is significantly more important than when you're drafted.
Absolutely.
Because let's be honest about this. And I'm not comparing anybody to Patrick Mahomes. I'm just trying to make a point here. So follow me, people. Caleb Williams is a talented quarterback. He's very talented.
Agreed.
And I think he's overly criticized. But the tape is the tape. And numerically, statistically, he didn't have the worst season. But when you watch the game, you say, man, what's going on? And he also he started to figure it out on the back end of the season a little bit. Things started to slow down for him. But the point I'm trying to make is, right, a guy of Caleb Williams' talent is essentially being wasted with the Chicago Bears, who have failed to develop a quarterback for as long as I can remember. And you think about a guy like Patrick Mahomes, who could have easily been selected by the Chicago Bears. I mean, that's the same draft class as Deshaun Watson and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? If I'm not mistaken, right? So what I'm trying to say is that imagine Patrick Mahomes without Andy Reid. Imagine if he got put into a situation like let's say he got drafted by let's say Patrick Mahomes got drafted by Tennessee or drafted by Chicago, whatever it may be, right? And he didn't have a guy like Andy to know how to handle a quarterback and say, hey, we're going to sit him the first year. Let him just watch. We may play him the last game or two, but we're going to sit him. And then we're going to unleash him in year two. Right? The whole plan, even Alex Smith was on board. The whole plan was to groom Mahomes, let him chill. Smith knew what the move was. And he was totally on board with transitioning away from the game and allowing just transitioning in general, because then he played for the Redskins after that.
Yeah.
So he was fully on board with transitioning away from the Chiefs. He knew where they were going. They were transparent, and he became and Mahomes became what he became. But imagine Mahomes not in Kansas City with Andy. That kind of skill set, the way Mahomes plays the game, people don't talk about this because he wins and he's really good at what he does, and Andy's figured him out. But Patrick Mahomes is was one of the most reckless quarterbacks in football in terms of what he did with the football. Like people talk about it and they fawn over it because they've won. He's creative. Like, the Tyreek Hill was there, Kareem Hunt was there, when he was not in trouble, all that kind of stuff. And things were working. Like, it was not saying Mahomes wasn't doing his job. He wasn't getting carried, but Mahomes had the tutelage of Andy Reid to hone in that talent.
And he could have did the same thing at Green Bay, but Aaron Rodgers just had too much ego. He had way too much ego. They could have said Aaron Rodgers could have stayed one more year and ushered in Jordan Love, and Jordan Love would be way better than he is now.
Absolutely. Jordan Love is behind the 8-ball. He's behind the 8-ball. He didn't start. His first year starting was what, year 3, year 4?
Yeah. But
something like that.
To me, that was old school because that's how they used to do it back in the day.
Which is fine. I'm cool with that.
Used to sit there and used to, take your lumps and you could sit there and learn. So we'll see what he does next year. But just imagine, to your point, having somebody that's going to stand there, and very similar to what Jason Kelce did with Cam Jurgens. You got your guy, or like you said about Alex Smith, he's the next. So just go ahead, welcome him in. Kirk Cousins is kind of doing that down there with Mike Penix. So it still happens every now and then, but they should do it more. Let me bring my guy Carlos. Carlos, what's going on, dude?
What's on mute? Salute, fellas.
Carlos, what's going on, big dog?
What's going on, y'all? What's going on? Listen, man, we're gonna put belt to ass, man. Gonna put belt to ass, man. That's what we're gonna do, man. Listen,
Carlos,
our offensive line.
Are you Eagles or Rams?
I'm Eagles all day, baby. If you cut my wrist open, it's green all day, boy. Listen, our offensive line, I did this math earlier. They weigh 1,674 pounds. The lightest guy on the Eagles is Cam Jurgens at 310. The heaviest guy on the Rams defensive line is 280. We're gonna wear these boys down. Listen, I got respect for Coach McVay.
That's good. That's good data right there. I did not know that, bro.
Wait, what's the number again?
We talk our shit.
How much they weigh again? As far as our guys versus their guys.
16. All I know is that their heaviest guy on the defensive line is like 280, 285, something like that. Our lightest guy is Cam Jurgens at like 310.
Right.
He's over 300. Everybody's over 300 pounds.
And you said we weigh a total of
back then it was 364, 74 pounds. That's our offensive line total. We got the heaviest O-line in the league.
Man, when you
I'll tell you that, all they weights right now.
When you say it like that, that reminds me of when Tim Brown was talking about the Raiders when they were in the Super Bowl and they outweighed who were they playing? That's the Super Bowl where he claims that the coach threw the game and they was outweighing the opponent by 30 pounds across the line. That's what that reminds me of. Go ahead.
You
I'm
know,
sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead, Carlos.
1,600 pounds, Carlos. That's the size
Yes,
of
sir.
a polar. That's the size of a male polar bear, bro.
Bro, that's why
Um,
our numbers are way better in the second half because we just wear these teams down, especially in the fourth quarter. That's why we could run the ball 14 straight times against the Ravens, and that's why we could take the clock down from 10 minutes to 2 minutes against the Pittsburgh Steelers and only give them 6 minutes total in the second half because that offensive line, man. But where you down?
You're right.
And then
Jalen
our
gonna be-
defense, we get relentless, man.
Jalen's gonna
Get
be
relentless.
important in this game, running the ball because of
Say
the
it again?
cold. Jalen's
yeah.
gonna be important running the ball because of the cold.
Absolutely. You know, it's funny to Carlos, to your point, right? You know, I know a lot of these national guys, they want to try to overcomplicate this matchup, and they want to try to use all the X's and O's and all the scheming they want to use. But like you said, man, this is a very simple matchup, right? Very simple. Last time we played them boys, we smoked them 37-14. And the reason I'm not saying 37-20 is because that one touchdown came in garbage time. The game was over. We smoked them boys 37-14.
They showed the game on NFL Network earlier.
Yeah. I was watching it. I forgot about the late touchdown. I stopped watching.
Yeah,
it.
a lot of
That
people
was
did.
garbage time.
Don't worry, because when they talk about it on national television, they say 37-20.
The Cooper Cup.
They all forgot. Forgot, but I didn't. We saw that game. We watched that game. We whooped their ass 37-14. I'm not buying nothing they selling. All that, you know, for the past 4 games, they've held teams under 10 points. You didn't play anybody. None of the teams you did that, you made the playoffs. You did that.
The media has to do that.
It's cute.
The media has to do that.
You're right.
They have to sell the game. They have to sell the matchup. They got to big up the underdog against the guys that already do what they supposed to do. We're not bringing nothing new. We're just gonna do what we got to do. We're just bringing another day at work. Hard hat, lunch pail, boots. Yeah, it's another day at work for us. I get what they're doing. I can see why everybody's doing it. Plus, a lot of these people ratings are tanking, so they have to say whatever they have to say to get the people talking. So, trust me, I've seen all week these people start off on Monday. Oh man, the Eagles, they blah, and then when it comes to by the end of the week, they talking about the Rams and Jalen this and Jalen that's. Like, we need to stop talking about Jalen, man, because he is top 5 NFL this year or ever since he came in accuracy. Yeah. He's top 5 in QBR. Like he's what I love about Jalen, and I said this to somebody in the chat. I love that he doesn't play outside himself.
Right.
He doesn't try to do more than what he's.
Everybody,
you know what I mean? He doesn't do what he wants to play outside. He plays in his lane. We just care about the dubs, man. I don't care about none of that shit. Freaking Mahomes won the Super Bowl against us with 180 yards. Like, come on. The W is what matters the most. Nobody care about stats.
Everybody forget the fact that he outplayed Mahomes. Point blank.
That's probably his best game of his career.
Absolutely. Yeah. We lost that game because our defense was not good. Our defense couldn't get home, and the special teams play. Damn special teams play. So Jalen just needs to keep doing it. Me and Tone, we talk about this all the time. It's not complicated. Keep it simple. Run it till they stop it. Now, I'm looking at Kellen Moore this week, and I'm like, bro, we saw what happened. But again, like I said earlier, each game is its own season. So you wiped last week off the table, and you got a brand new start.
Mm-hmm.
So open up that playbook. I still want to run Saquon outside and stretch that defense out a bit because I don't think they can stop us. And if they want to stack the box, that's what I was talking about earlier, Tone. I think
they tried it already, Marcus. They tried it already.
Play a lot of single high, and they're going to bring that extra safety up, and they're going to flip-flop. Sometimes they're going to drop them back, and sometimes they're going to bring them up to support. So it's going to be all about recognizing that and seeing what the Eagles do in their run game. Because if they bring that guy up in the box to stop Saquon, we got to hit him with AJ and Devontae all damn night because it's going to be there. So,
and they said the cornerback might be out.
You talking about Witherspoon,
cornerback
right?
Might be out.
Witherspoon, right?
He hasn't practiced yet. Yeah, he hasn't practiced yet.
So. I saw him get hurt. Get hurt. And did they say anything? Did they say anything about Higbee? Because he didn't finish that game against. He's playing.
They say he's most likely going to play. They say what happened with him was obviously he hit his chest and he was bleeding. He was spitting up blood, but then he left with the team to LA. So I think he practiced today. light practice or whatever. But I think he's going to be good to go. I think his
Still not
first. I think he
100%.
only played like. Yeah, but I think that was like his first game back last week or like the week before that. I think because he's been out most of the season, I believe. So he's been out. So I mean,
Yeah,
he's
man,
still pretty fresh. But the thing when it comes to them stacking up the box, see, I would be a little more worried if they were heavier on the line. Their defensive line's not built for that. They can't
What, the
sustain
Rams
that all
defensive
game.
line?
The
Nah.
Rams defensive line cannot sustain that all game. They won't be able to.
Peep this, right? I'm looking at the play-by-play from that game, right? In particular, the first matchup, right? Did you know in that game, the Rams weren't in a 4-man box not one time? Like they or like they didn't have any 4-man fronts. They kept it 5-man or more, and they ran. Let me double check this. They ran 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plays out of a 5-man box. Then they primarily ran things out of a 6 and 7-man box. They spent most of their time in a 7-man box. And I'm looking at some of these runs here. Like Saquon Barkley ran for, Kenny Gainwell ran for a 13-yard touchdown against a 7-man box. That was just Kenny.
Right.
That was just Kenny Gainwell. Against a 6-man box, Saquon Barkley took you to the crib for 70 yards against a 6-man box. And then when they had
First quarter, second half,
they had where is it? I think they had 7-man in the box again, and Saquon took it to the crib.
They got issues.
They have issues that you can't scheme around.
Right.
They have issues that are fundamentally flawed in how their team is built. Their team is built for turf. Their team is built for finesse. They're not built to play this kind of game against this kind of team.
Now, and you got a quarterback that is not a running quarterback in the cold.
Nope.
In the cold, who's 1-8 in snow or rain games. And coming into the league, he was known as being a guy that does not like playing in the cold.
Right. So we got this is
I
what
mean, even if they keep it somewhat competitive, I just feel like we're just gonna wear them down. Like our offense is just gonna wear them down. Like, don't let us get the ball with like 12 minutes left in the fourth quarter. I swear to God, we're gonna take that shit down to like 3 minutes. I'm telling you, because by that time, them boys are gonna be huffing and puffing.
Man, my biggest concern has nothing to do with our offense or our defense. It is strictly Kellen Moore dialing up some bullshit. You know, if it's 2nd and 10, I don't want to be throwing the ball on 2nd down and then run the ball on 3rd down, trying to fool somebody. Get a ball to Saquon to make it 3rd and short or 3rd and mid, a little bit more reasonable, and then you can hit AJ with the quick slant or run the mesh concept across the middle, something like that. Something that we know they can't stop. But if they,
you know what's crazy?
Man, they're gonna throw that damn wide bubble screen to the right and to the left again. I'm gonna lose my shit when they do that. Because I hate that damn play.
I do too. I do too.
And you know what's crazy? That actually causes more penalties for the offensive line later down the line because they're not in a rhythm.
Yes, that's a good call, Carlos.
We always seem to do well. Every time we seem to do well, or we're getting ready to move down at times, we always seem to kill ourselves with a penalty or two, be like a false start or holding on a good run, and then Jalen will have to do what he have to do or try, and it's like, but you've played the game, Coach. Like, you know, it's like a symphony, bro. Everything's got to be in rhythm. It's synchronized. You know, especially the offensive line. They have to be in sync every way possible. You know what I mean?
They need to go up tempo again, quickly, right off the bat. Right off the bat.
Dude, if we did that, ain't no team stopping us. We do that all game.
Nobody.
Hurry up offense. Oh my goodness.
Nobody. And we still, I don't know, man. I just don't understand why people just disrespect our defense, our offensive line, and what they can do. And everybody, I know what it's for, because everybody's concentrating. Oh, they just only passed for 130 yards last week, or whatever it was. It's just another reason to bash Jalen. It's like, all right, y'all can fall for the banana tailpipe if you want to.
They're obsessed with the idea of passing yards, Carlos. They're so obsessed with this passing yards thing, and what they don't realize is at the bottom of the league, right? I was looking at these numbers, right? In terms of pass attempts and pass yards per game, I want to say the bottom 5 or bottom 7 teams. I think they're all playoff teams, something like that. Like the teams that throw the least and have the least and average the least amount of pass yards or something like that. You know, for the most part,
And they're probably top running teams too.
A lot of them are pass teams. I'm sorry, a lot of them are playoff
Probably
teams,
top running teams too.
and they are the top running teams. As a matter of fact, I literally was just looking at it. You guys can talk. I'm gonna pull it up real quick.
The problem is the way that they change the game is everything's got to be flashy now. You got to be man. They're bringing back old school smash mouth football. That's what they're doing. Running back and defense.
We talk about that all the time. Just why it seems like sometimes when we get the running game going, it seems like they want to pull the emergency brake just to say, hey, we can still pass too. It's like, why are we doing that? Just keep pounding it down their throat. Just keep running it and running it and running it until they prove that they can stop us.
All right, check this, y'all.
But I blame Saquon sometimes too because he's too nice. Sometimes you got to be like, look, man, fuck that. Give me the ball.
Listen. No, Carlos.
Give me the ball.
He's starting to I don't know if you saw his post game interview at his locker.
I saw him.
He's starting to.
He's talking.
He's smelling it now. He see how close he getting close, and he smell it. My man said, I don't care if we throw for 400 yards, rushing 400 yards. He said, shit. He said, shit. If we went 3-0, I don't give a fuck. Like he hasn't spoken like that.
I didn't see that.
Yes, no, Marcus, yes. He hasn't spoken like that at all this season. He doesn't curse in his interviews.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think he's
not at all. And you know what's crazy about that, Chalk?
Him and Big Mackay.
You know what's crazy about that, Chalk, though? Is that this is what they don't seem to understand, the outside people, is that he's the worst person that you want to be hungry.
Facts.
He's the last player that you want to be a hungry guy. And that motherfucker is hungry. He never been this far in the playoffs. He never had expectations like this for any season. You know what I'm saying? He's got something to prove.
Not even in college. Like in college, what's the furthest he went in college? What's the furthest he went? And as far as playoffs, like a bowl game, what's the furthest? He never played in like a national game.
He won the Rose Bowl against USC.
Okay.
Won the Rose Bowl against USC. I think that was the highest they went.
That's a big game. That's a big game. But to your point, Carlos, he sees it. He smell it. He never
hungry.
Played. He's hungry, and he's getting hungrier and hungrier by the snap. And they lucky that he did what he did against the Packers in that final snap. They lucky he did what he did, and that told me a lot about his character. But at the same time, he a better man than me because I'm putting my foot in their damn neck, bro. He a better man than me.
Skinny ass Smitty though. You hear skinny ass Smitty though? He's like, why he ain't running all the way? I'm gonna smack the shit out of this man. I'm like, you little skinny ass.
Smitty said, hey, Marcus. They had Smitty mic'd up, right? Smitty was like, come here, come here.
Yeah. He sounded like a concerned father, didn't he? He sounded like a concerned father, yo.
About to put him in the corner.
Yo,
come here.
I was wrong.
Why don't you run that damn ball with his accent?
Country as hell.
But yeah, he is hungry, bro. That's the last person you want hungry. And Jalen's always hungry. So those two guys, man.
Let's go over to the defense real quick. Let's go over to the defense real quick.
Real quick, I want to say this to y'all about the whole rushing and passing numbers, right? And how overrated they are. So peep this. As far as team rankings, as far as pass attempts per game this season, right? You got Philadelphia, who's ranked 32nd. You got Baltimore.
Yeah, we don't throw the ball out.
You got Baltimore, who's ranked 31st. Remind you, Philly is throwing the ball.
How many attempts?
PR,
for us, how many attempts for us?
All right, so Philly
like
is
20, 25?
So Philly's ranked 32nd. They're averaging 26 a game, right? Baltimore is 31st, averaging 27 a game. Green Bay is 30th, averaging 28 a game. Pittsburgh is 29th, averaging 29 a game. The Chargers were 28th, averaging 30 a game. The Colts were 27th, averaging 30 a game. Buffalo was ranked 26th, averaging 30 a game. And Washington was ranked 25th, averaging 31 a game. So let's just stop there for a second. We're talking about, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. We're talking about 8 teams, right? 8 teams, and 7 of those 8 teams made the playoffs, and they throw the ball the least. Right?
How many of those quarterbacks have less than 10 picks?
Ooh, good question. I believe I know Josh Allen got less than 10 picks. I know Jaden Daniels got to have less than 10 picks, right? No, wait.
He got 8.
He got 8. How many he got?
He
Like
got
11?
8. I think
10?
he got 8.
Justin Herbert had a career year as far as or a career low as far as interceptions. He only threw 3 interceptions because Jim Harbaugh came in there and said, "Listen, I don't care how strong your arm is. We running the ball." And and Brady, the OC for Buffalo, he took over mid-season after they fired Ken Dorsey. He said, "Listen, all that gunslinging out the window. We running the ball." That's why they went and got James Cook over the offseason, right? And then Baltimore, they brought in. It's so funny. Think about this. The teams that threw the ball the least. This is so funny. Green Bay, Baltimore, and Philadelphia. What's the common denominator of their offseason?
No
What's
running
the
back.
common denominator? The running back additions. Green Bay went and got Josh Jacobs. Baltimore went and got Derrick Henry. Philadelphia went and got Saquon Barkley. It's funny. Those are the 3 running backs they tried to say was done.
And they reinvigorated the league.
Reinvigorated those teams. Lamar Jackson had a career of his life. Like and Jalen Hurts, Jalen Hurts plays with no ego, so he's an ace. Got 2,000-yard rusher, cook, brother, cook, rumble, young man. And you got these teams who throw the ball the most: Cleveland, Cincinnati, Dallas, Las Vegas, the Jets. Top 5 teams in pass attempts, not even in the playoffs.
Not there.
Right.
Long ball is overrated.
Exactly, man. Like I love where my favorite football is this kind of football. I love my favorite position growing up was the running back. You know what I'm saying? Because like I love the situations they got to be put in. They could do everything. They could catch the ball, run the ball. Like they got a block. I just felt like they were the ultimate weapon on the football field. But we were convinced. They tried to sell us that the running back is dying. Nah. Not this go around, baby. You got Saquon, Josh Jacobs, and Derrick Henry have completely flipped the running back market on his head, and I'm happy about it.
Yeah.
Did you see Jason
All they
Kelce
did is
today
do all
on
that shit just to sell more
WIP?
tickets and merchandise.
You see what Jason Kelce said today?
I missed it. I know he was on WIP, but I missed it.
He was saying that next he said HBO is having a hard time getting people for Hard Knocks now because of what happened with Saquon.
Nobody want to be embarrassed with that.
That is gonna live in infamy, man. That when the owner's like, man, I'm gonna lose sleep if he signs with the Eagles.
You know what's funny?
Like 10 minutes later.
The first episode of Hard Knocks, I watched it, and I haven't watched another. I don't think I've ever watched another full episode since the first season, because that first season, one of the first scenes they had was when they cut that dude, and I was like, "Ooh,
yo, that hurt me." I remember
the Ravens, right?
That was the Ravens, right? The Ravens, right?
The Ravens was the first team.
Like,
that hurt me. Yeah, that was. I used to watch Hard Knocks back then.
That brought back too many memories.
That's the one. That's the one where that's the one where Shannon Sharp was like, "Guth embarrassed me on national television. I want my restitution."
He's not even my restitution.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
You embarrassed me on national television.
Hey, what you think about Tony? I don't know if you saw this. I saw this on Twitter. The girl on Good Morning Football said that Trot Jr. was starting, and I think
I heard about that.
A mistake.
I heard about
watching it when she said it. I was like, "Did I miss something? Did I miss something in the press conference or something?"
Was she saying it like
Fangio basically alluded to it? He didn't say but he basically you could kind of connect the dots.
Right.
I think I think he's going to do, he's going to use Trotter. What I think they're going to do is they're going to use a lot more dime package. Have Bond out there by himself to play the linebacker, bring somebody else in, maybe an extra defensive lineman or whatever, or
you talking about
extra cornerback, whatever have you.
Are you talking about like in those obvious pass situations?
Yeah. Most of the time they're going to have Bond out there. They might have Trot out there for the run stop, and I think they're going to use Burks more for the special teams. I think he needs to be on special teams. He's a bullet, just straight downfield, bang. Yeah. And plus also, Trotter's a better tackler. He's a short tackler, so
yeah. And
I
also,
think we're going to be okay.
I was looking at some film. The Oren Burks disrespect is a little overhyped.
Way overhyped.
It's overhyped. He didn't play as bad as they making it out to be.
No, and give him a week's worth of reps with the ones. That makes all the difference in the world.
And Kobe got hurt in the second quarter, and from that point on, we only gave up 10 points from there. It wasn't like Burks. Like what happened is a little overrated.
People tend to forget. Like
same thing with
I want to see him
Pick it.
with a full week of practice with the ones, with the game plan, because you never know what the twos might get 2 reps during the day.
Right.
So they're not learning nothing, or they run a scout team or something like that. So when he gets a whole week under Vic Fangio, somebody giving him direction, really getting with it and getting the feel for what he has to do. I don't know if he's wearing a green dot. I haven't heard that, or are they going to get at the Zach Bond, or is Oren Burke going to do it?
No, Zach Bond's wearing a green dot this week.
Okay, I think he'll be.
Did you hear about I'm pretty sure one of y'all heard about this about Vic Fangio about what he does with the linebackers at practice.
No, what's up?
Like they don't play together. Like he uses them separately or something like that. Like he has this weird way of using his linebackers, so they both have like reps and they're ready to come into the game. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so he like
does
a situation where they don't communicate and they gotta like. I get you. I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
wait, break that down for me.
So
like he had a press conference or something like that where he was talking about, but I'm pretty sure Coach can break it down better than I can.
Yeah, normally it's almost like you put 2 guys in separate rooms.
Okay.
You give them the same instructions. You tell them everything the same, and then see what they do in separate rooms. But in this situation, you know what the game plan is, you know what the defense is, you know what you're supposed to do, your responsibilities. But when you're doing it, the goal is to, when they're doing it separately, to come up with the same results. So it doesn't matter who you put in there. Everybody's going to be playing up the par and know what to do. The communication is there, and everybody's on the same page. Really, that's what it comes down to. You're trying to get everybody on the same page.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
I think he does it on the field too.
That's ingenious.
That's old school right there.
Listen.
Yeah.
If Vic Fangio's going to retire here, and we're gonna have him at least at the very least for the next 3 seasons, depending on how long. He's gonna play. He's gonna coach for as long as he wants to, because he made it clear this is his last stop. And what he's been able to do for this defense over the course of a season, turn them from worst to first.
Worst to first, though.
Not like a fool goal first either. Like this is a legit defense, like legitimate. And it's so funny, because I take national opinions with a grain of salt, right? But for the most part, like everybody, I may disagree with you, and somebody might make me mad that day, but I don't really hold grudges like that. But like Chris Sims, right? I watch his show, Chris Sims Unbuttoned, and he was breaking down this matchup, between Eagles and Rams, whatnot, and he was like, "Look, I rewatched that game." And I'm gonna summarize basically what he said. I don't think there's nothing the Rams could do. I got this game 37-17. He said, I just don't know what they can do. The way they got their ass beat last time, the way they're built, like they're gonna have to get out of their comfort zone to win this game. And he just has a hard time believing they're gonna be able to sustain that.
In the cold.
Like he flat out said that the Eagles are going to kick their ass. It's not even going to be funny.
They had to go from LA to Arizona, back to LA, do what they do, and then they're flying out here on Saturday. On top of that,
for a short
it's
week
cold. Too? On top of that, the time change, the difference in time, that's all going to affect them, man.
Absolutely.
This guy's going to feel his age. We're going to make him feel his age. We're going to make Stafford feel his age, man.
That's a good point.
He's going to hit that ground. I'm telling you, we're going to make him a little more timid. Even though he's a great quarterback, all we have to do is make him do a little bit of happy feet for an extra split second, and we got him. That's it.
Absolutely. And on top of that, right? And on top of that, another part that people don't talk about is, LA and Arizona, like their stadiums, they play on turf. And and everybody knows that everybody knows that turf, right? Like for example, the Cowboys play on turf. It's known that players are like quicker, they're faster. They can move a little better on that turf as far as speed wise, right? A lot of those dome teams, they're able to take advantage of that turf. You got to come to Philly play on this cold ass grass. I'm telling you, man. All that speed they play with, in against the Vikings in that game. You really think they sacking Jalen Hurts 9 times?
It's something to be said if you are not used to playing in the cold. They can play
break
in
that
the
down
cold.
because you played before. Break that down for me
Here's
because
the
you played your college. Why am I forgetting this?
Eastern
We talk about it
Kentucky.
all the time. Eastern Kentucky.
Eastern Kentucky.
Yeah.
It can get cold out there.
Listen, I played in the game one time. I believe Tennessee State. We played Tennessee State. We got in trouble because our coach got mad at us because we was warming up and everybody's head was bobbing when the Tennessee State band came in there. But that was a sidebar. That game was
Y'all was
probably
running extra laps that day.
It was probably 40 degrees. It was 39, 40 degrees. It had rained, so the grass was wet. And the shock that you get as a player, the first time you get tackled and that water is cold, because remember, the only thing worse than being cold is being wet and cold. And it's even more detrimental to a quarterback that's got to use his hands because the first thing that gets cold is what? Your fingertips and your ears. So when Matt Stafford, his fingertips start getting cold because it is supposed to snow. I don't know if anybody can see, but I got my the forecast is talking about 1 to 3 inches in the morning, and then it's going to drop down below 30 degrees, and showers before midnight. So it's going to snow in the daytime, and by the evening hits, we're going to get a little bit of rain. So it's going to suck out there. And
guess what?
I don't think Matthew Stafford is ready for it.
And we're practicing in that right now.
Yep.
We've been practicing that all week.
It was out there. The only person that didn't practice was Dallas Goedert because he said he was sick.
And AJ was limited. They rested him. With that knee.
Sixers, pay attention. That's how you rest somebody with a bum knee. Embiid, pay attention, bro.
Oh God!
Please don't bring
that shit in his contract where he couldn't play USA basketball. This motherfucker get knee surgery, and the next week he want to play USA basketball, knowing this motherfucker was lumbering up and down that court. You weren't healthy, my brother.
At all.
That's why the season is the way it is. We just, man. I don't, man. Listen, I'm glad the Eagles. I'm glad the Eagles are the way that they are, man, because they done saved me from breaking at least 5 phones and like 5 TVs when it comes to the Sixers. I'll lie to you now. And I'm a bigger Sixers fan because basketball is my first love. So I'm a bigger Sixers fan than Eagles fan. So it's like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, bruh, it's just frustrating, man, because the team doesn't. It's like, inform the fans. That's it. Let us know. We can handle it. They trying to do all this dumb shit. Like it's.
You want to know why?
I think we're gonna do a good job against them. They're gonna come in and they're gonna be ready to play. I'm not gonna sit here and say that we're gonna kick their ass and all. It could turn into that. I got respect for the Rams. I got respect for Matt Stafford and McVay, but
for sure,
that cold weather is gonna be something different when you're getting smacked around like that.
Carlos, to your point, man, I got respect for him too. I got respect for what Matthew Stafford's done in this league. I got respect for what Sean McVay's done in this league. Like I have respect for those guys. I really, really do. I have respect for those guys, but at the same time, this is just one of those situations where there's not much you can do but just accept it. It's going to be like the only thing about this game is you're going to have to. The only thing about the result of this game is that you're going to have to figure out whether or not it's consensual or not. Because either way it's getting taken.
Tony, you in rare air tonight, bro.
Listen, man, tell him to call Diddy and get the baby oil. Tell him Diddy get the baby oil.
Oh man, but like it's not gonna be a fair matchup, man. It's not fair for them. It's not fair.
Man, I want to slam them. I want to beat them by three scores. I want to remember. You see, remember the Titans? Remember at the end when they was playing that game and he said, "Leave no doubt."
Mm-hmm.
So they will remember the night they played the Titans. Leave no doubt. I want you to send LA back to LA with a limp.
You saw what they did to Green Bay.
I want them to play I want them to play like them dudes from the program. I want to leave snot bubbles in his mouth, man. I'm trying to tell you. I want Ball to be talking to the quarterback like, "Ain't you the mother?" I want him to be talking to the running back like, "Ain't you the motherfucker that stole my mama's car? Ain't you the? Oh yeah."
I forgot all about that movie.
Like,
damn.
He's like, "No, I don't remember stealing your mother's car." He's like, "Y'all motherfucker, I got you now." Like,
Oh my
yeah.
God.
But it's, I
And
mean, like I said, I haven't been this confident in this team since we had T.O. And because I just felt like our offense was just that was McNair's best year. And him and T.O. were just playing around with people. And our team
they
was
coulda
so
just
good. We
got
lost
along,
T.O.
man.
for like the last 3-4 games and the playoff run. And he came back to the Super Bowl and still had like 100-something with pins in his ankle. You know what I mean? That's how confident I
They could have
was.
just got a damn long, man. God, though. God, though.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one thing
we still had Jimmy Johnson.
That's the one thing Donovan said, where it's like nobody could refute. And he said, we could have broke records together. And he was 100% right. But listen, man, like I said earlier, when the ego gets in the way, it don't matter what kind of you know what?
Why I
That brings me
appreciate
back to
Jalen
Go ahead.
Hurts. That's why I appreciate Jalen Hurts, because he
point, I was
played the
gonna say
game
Nick
with
Sirianni.
zero ego.
I was gonna say Nick Sirianni, but we talk about basically the same thing. You got this team in a situation where everybody's on the same page. Everybody tried to blow the shit out of proportion with AJ and Jalen having a beef and all of that kind of stuff. And it's like, man, it's like people really don't understand how wrong they have it, and they don't understand the dynamic in locker rooms. And I guess people just forget boys being boys. Brothers fight.
Yeah.
And then let's go get a pizza the next day.
What's that scene from that movie? With Morgan Freeman. What movie was that?
Yeah, Lean on Me. We cussed them out and said, contrary to popular belief, I am the HNIC. Now let's go get something to eat.
Mr. Cup.
You think you bad, don't you?
Oh man, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just
that's the movie.
By thy side will stand.
You know the whole song.
I know they school song before I know my own school song.
Oh man, I ain't seen Lean on Me forever, man.
But yeah, Carlos, back to your original point, man. I want to see boots to asses this weekend, bro. I'm with you.
For sure.
I'm with you 100%, man.
I want
them to leave no doubt.
I want to see that.
I want all them people on these media shows that's been talking shit on Jalen Hurts. I just want to sit there and just look at them like, now what? Now what's the problem? And how far
they'll just find another way to move the goalposts.
But listen, though, you know what I want?
To
more than anything, you know what I want? I want Jalen Hurts to win the Super Bowl and average less than 150 yards passing. Yes. I want that. I want that because you know because you know what they're gonna do you know what they're gonna do that Monday morning? They ain't gonna have no choice but to kiss the ring. They ain't gonna have no choice. They gonna be sitting there in the film room like, how did they figure this? Like, how? Like, every week with Jalen Hurts, I think that's what frustrates them the most about him is the fact that, you know, they had him slated as a career backup. He's gonna have to change his position, whatever it may be, and they just sit there with themselves like, how is this motherfucker keep winning these games? Like, how hasn't he lost them a game yet? I don't understand.
Like, people blood, man. Some people are football players. Jalen, it's simple. Jalen is a football player. He's a football player. Like I said, it goes back to what I said earlier. He doesn't play outside himself, and he even tells the media this almost every week. I play the way the game is intended to play that week. If it's for me to throw 30 times and go for 250, then hey, I'll do it. If it's for me to hand it off to Saquon 30 times, that's what's going to be done. That, you know, I just care about the W's, man. Like, he's what, 40 something and like 18 or something like that since he's been a starter, something like that.
I believe he's 1 or 2 in the I guess his 4 years as a starter. I don't think there's anybody that has a better record than him.
So Jalen Hurts as a starter in his career,
I think it's Mahomes
46 and 20.
And 46 and 20. And I think he's like 16 or 15 and 1 against the AFC.
Let me double check that.
Bottom line is
I'm trying to remember the only team he lost to in the AFC.
Okay, so as far as
I think it was the Chiefs.
So Jalen Hurts is, for his career, he's played 23 games against the AFC, and he's played 54 games against the NFC. For his career, he's 15-7-1 against the AFC, and he's 34-20 against the NFC. Yeah, 15-7-1. Because remember that tie game.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, I remember that.
But yeah, 15-7-1 as a starter. playing against the AFC. And as
And
far
I think he's got a great road record too.
Yes, he does.
Let's see, as a for his career on the road, let me double check this. For his career, for his career, he's played 38 home games and 39 road games. He's 25-12 at home, and 25-12-1 at home, and he's 24-15 on the road.
24. That's a good ass record.
Everything that he has, he's on the positive side, I believe.
Absolutely.
Like wins, everything. He's on the positive side. And people what these media pundits what they shut up on is my boy's turnovers too. They was on his ass after that game in
was they?
They just forgot about that.
His ass.
And on the flip side of that, all that hype about Justin Herbert only throwing 3 for the year, and then he gets into the playoff games and throws 4. So
and then all that hype about Jordan Love, how he ain't throw an interception since November.
Yep.
And he met Philly. Give me 3 of them things. Give me 3 of them. I need 3 of them. I need all 3 of them.
That was that Slay interception surprised me. I said, "Oh shit, he caught it."
Yo, I ain't gonna lie. That was one of the best Slay picks I've seen.
Slay
in a while.
He wasn't even looking at the ball. That was a man interception. That was a man interception all the way.
You would have thought he was a receiver the way he caught it. He caught it like a receiver.
Yeah, Tone, you know, I said this before, man. For Slay to be 34 years old to be running like that, if he can stay on the field, he gonna get a couple more. He gonna get a couple more picks in the playoffs.
Jalen Hurts.
They say he's been dealing with a nagging injury all year. That's why he's been. I don't know if it's like his groin area or something. Because you know how he would come out.
I ain't gonna lie, Carlos.
Later in the game.
It's been something different every game, bro. I'm gonna be honest. It's been something different every game.
He limping off every game. He's 34 years old.
A lot of football too.
The expiration date on that groin and them hammies and them ankles is just up. Yeah. So, but
he's been fairly healthy in his career.
When he is on the field, he is on. He's on.
His numbers great this year too.
Keep his
head
up.
One of the best play seasons. Would you guys say? I know he ain't got the interceptions to match, but would you guys say this is Slay's best season as an Eagle? I know that may be overzealous, but I'm curious if you're. I mean, you may have to really look at the numbers or look at the film, but I've never seen him this clean in a while.
For his age, yeah. But I think he's had some
for his age.
I think he's had something. But yeah, I would put this year in like a top 4 or 5 of his whole career. Yeah, I would put this in the top. Yeah.
Okay.
He's had a great year this year. Great year this year.
Yeah, and what I mean is best year as an Eagle. As an Eagle. Now, I was talking about more so just as an Eagle. Not even so because I know he had amazing
2022 and this year.
2022 was good.
2022 this year.
He was on one in 2022.
It's like a 1A and 1B because, like I said, he's had a great year this year, man. Great year.
Yeah, for sure.
Man, we good to go. We good to go. We gonna handle business, man. We gonna handle business. They gonna force turnovers.
You hear when they asked Cooper, what was your welcome to the NFL moment?
What did he say?
And he was like, yeah. He's like Adam Thielen. He said Adam.
Oh yeah, you're talking about the gene. Yeah. I told people
was giving it to him that day.
I was telling people. I said, "Yo, listen, that was his game. Welcome to." Not many people want to talk about it, but I'm glad he admitted it. I saw it on the film. I'm like that was his welcome to the NFL moment because Thielen was routing, and Thielen not fast, but the footwork, the deception, the way he leaned, the way he stemmed them routes and stacked them, like he had him in the blender. Let's be honest about it.
Yeah, I'm turning.
Yeah, I'm gonna show you
going in circles.
Yeah. That's why I'm glad coach made that adjustment. Said Slay, get him on him on that last play, fam.
Yeah, we in a good spot though, man. We in a good spot. Sure. I think
we are.
Sure. Our secondary is continuing to get better, and you know what? Even with C.J. Gardner-Johnson and Slay and Quignon and Coop and Blankenship, they still don't talk about a secondary enough, and they should.
They don't talk about Reed at all, and Reed been steady.
You know, I'm a fan of Reed.
They talk about it,
Middle Tennessee.
I like Reed.
Come on, man.
I like Reed since we had him. I was very high on Reed since we had him. You know what I'm saying? But look, y'all, I got to bounce.
All right, Tone.
Marcus, you already know how we get down, bro. I'm gonna see you Sunday morning. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Sunday at 10 o'clock.
It was a pleasure.
I'm definitely gonna be on there. I'm sub to you, so I'm gonna definitely be on there on Sunday. I'll be in the chat.
Yeah. Either we're gonna be live on both channels, so either coaches
Oh.
live chat or mine, it don't make a difference to me, bro. But yeah, just know, y'all, we're gonna be live like we always do, pregame Sunday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern time, 9 a.m. Central. Is up, and I promise you this.
You know what?
We're gonna lean in them boys. We're gonna lean on them.
You know what? I got a company phone, right? I got my phone and I got a company phone, right? Your company phone is limited, right? So you can't watch certain things. I can't download YouTube. So what I'm gonna do, right? I'm gonna violate some work rules just to have both of y'all on Sunday.
Nah, don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't do that, man. Don't do that.
Don't get yourself in trouble, man.
I don't need them
mess
document
up,
your paper,
don't mess
dog.
up the paper, dog. Don't mess up
I
the
paper.
I'm good.
Hey, Carlos, can you come in the office, please? Yeah, we got a notification that app was downloaded.
You gonna be in there like, well, what had happened was.
Oh man, but listen,
I had to see Coach and talk. I had to see Coach and Tone. Like, if you don't understand that, you know, do what you got. Write me up.
He's there.
Write me up.
Oh man, I'm out, y'all. Peace out, man. Y'all have a good night.
All right, Tone, I'll holler at you, bro.
Yeah.
All right, bro. I'll talk to you.
Oh, you crazy, man. Don't get yourself.
Yeah, man. For real. But
all right, man. We had
ready,
a good conversation, bro. I'm about to go get something.
Yes,
I did not think I was gonna go this long.
I'll definitely see you Sunday.
Oh, for sure, man. Appreciate you,
yes,
brother.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Talk to you later. All right, folks. Damn, that was a good conversation, man. Didn't expect Tone to come in here, man, but Tone was off the chain. Carlos was off the chain. And listen, man, I set my limit at 6. So in the future, if you want to get on, I'll go up to having 6 people on at the same time. I can do that because I can mute some people so we can make sure that one person is talking. It's not bad with just 3 people, but when you get more than that, it can get a little hectic. However, in the future, I will have it so I will take up to 6 people. So if you want to have your take, give your opinion or whatever, come on the mic. And just like Carlos, you don't have to have your camera on. I know a lot of people feel some kind of way about that. You do not have to have your camera on. Long as we can hear you, you good to go. You good to go. So keep that in mind in the future, because every Thursday I'll be going Football Fridays tomorrow night. Tomorrow night at 8 p.m. And I think tomorrow night I'm going to be kind of incorporating it with the national championship game, because I'm going to be live streaming that. So just come on through at about 8 o'clock. I'll be on. I'll probably be watching the game. We'll recap the game and then talk some more about the Eagles and stuff like that. Or if you want to talk about the Rams or something like that, I can talk ball with anybody about anything. So it's all good. But yeah, so going on in the future, if you in the chat and you want to get on and state your opinion or give your take, when I post the link up, click that link and I will bring you in so you get a chance to say what you got to say. So we can make this a conversation, not just a soliloquy on my part. You know what I'm saying? So, but at the end of the day, the one thing I didn't get into was talking about Vic Fangio. I mentioned this the other day. Vic Fangio, to me, is entering Jeff Stoutland territory. So he is to go from worst to first with your defense, with everybody coming in and we having our injuries and everything that he's been able to do. He is entering Jeff Stoutland territory. So I've got full confidence that either Oren Burks or Jeremiah Trotter Jr. or both of them in some combination is going to be up to snuff and ready to go this weekend. So I'm looking forward to it. I want to see the snow on the ground. I hope we do get, 1 to 3 inches or more than that, just enough. So it'll be a problem for LA, but we used to it. So we'll get it cleaned up super quick and be ready to go. But the snow is in our favor. Having everybody healthy is in our favor. And having the best. And just like Carlos said, I was not aware that we outweighed their defensive line by like 30-something pounds across. That's what's up. That's good. That's good. That's good data right there, Carlos. I appreciate that, bro. So yeah, we're gonna get it done, man. And come back tomorrow. If you haven't already, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Click on that thumbs up so we can keep this thing going. We had an excellent stream tonight. I think we peaked at like 65 or something like that. So good stuff, man. I'm trying to break 100. So do me a favor, share it, tell your friends, bring your family, bring your little sister. If your little sister want to come on and give her take about the Eagles, she can do that too, man. Plus, I gotta have more ladies on the chat because I got two sisters, and if I didn't have it like that, they would smack me upside the head. You feel me? But I'm gonna get up out of here, man. Great chat tonight. Everybody was bringing the heat, man. I appreciate Tone. I appreciate Carlos coming on. And we're going to do this thing again next week at the same bat time and the same bat channel. But stay tuned tomorrow. I'll probably be on, I think, the national championship game. Real quick. Go to ESPN. Football bowl results. So that's not that going to see if I can get this again. There we go. 7:30. So I will be on tomorrow at 7:30 watching Ohio State and Notre Dame. So yes, I'm an Ohio boy, so I'm pulling for the Buckeyes, but I really, really like Notre Dame. Pat Ryan, I appreciate you, brother. K Chanel, appreciate you. Thank Bird Gang 52. I appreciate you. Keep bringing that hit. C Man, I appreciate you. What else? What else? It was somebody is in Northeast Sports. I appreciate you. Eden the remix, man. Keep bringing the heat, man. I know y'all was going back and forth in the chat, but hey, keep bringing it, man. Like I said, I talk ball as long as you stay respectful and don't get out of bounds with the comments and stuff. I don't care who you a fan of. If you a Packers fan, go Pack, go. You know what I'm saying? So I don't care. I don't mind it. I love talking ball with everybody. So I don't care who you are a fan of. Just as long as you keep it, respectable in the chats, we good, man. I'll keep it 100 with you, but I gotta leave the toxic on the bench, man. But I appreciate you, Eden. Don't be a stranger. Who else did I miss? Pat Ryan, as usual. 313 Thug Boss. He was bringing the heat. I appreciate everybody, man. Eric 0215. That's what I'm talking about. He must be from Philly. Keep bringing the heat, man. So we had a good stream tonight. I look forward to doing it tomorrow as we watch the national championship game. So join me tomorrow. Come on the stream. Give your take, give your opinion, and we're going to keep this thing going. We grinding and growing. Just hit 5,500 subs, trying to get to 6,000 before the end of the month, and we're going to do it. So appreciate you. Come back tomorrow, and we're going to do this again. And as usual, go Birds.